Hafidin, good morning. Welcome back to the hotspot at the Boka Box. I am Jess Rosario. I am the nutrition professional and the owner here. Before I get started on talking about diet today and nutrition and health, I wanted to give a big shout out to one of my best friends, Logan Regis, and his wife, Tina. They just had a beautiful baby boy yesterday, so congratulations, guys. Such a good thing. He looks like his mom and not his dad. But getting back to our segment today, I have been on a 21-day challenge where I challenged myself to change the way my body looks, to change the way my lifestyle so that I'm eating better, I'm sleeping better, I'm exercising. And I did all of this through the Easter weekend. Now, one of the things that I got to talk to a lot of people about was them being overwhelmed with the fact that they couldn't stick to their diet on that weekend. And I wanted to kind of address that because that happens a lot with a lot of people, right? You get on a diet and then you're doing really good and then the weekend comes and you have an event that happens. You have a birthday, you have a christening, you have a party, you have grad season coming up, whatever it is, right? And we are there and it's very hard for us to stay on track with our diet. Right? I mean, there are ways you can stay on track. There's options for you to eat healthy. But honestly, how many of us do that? Unless we're like, preparing for some sort of competition or some sort of event where we have to be overly restrictive, we're not going to be, right? We're going to get tempted by a lot of the food that's out there and we're going to eat it. So I wanted to talk about things that we should do and things that we should not do when we have a bad day of eating or we just cheat and go off of our diet, right? Because that's the reality of things. We are going to fail in a sense, but I don't want people to think that, just because you had a little mishap and you stumbled a little bit, that it's all over and done with, right? So I got basically kind of like 3 things that you should not do when you have a bad day of eating, or you just kind of go overboard. So the first thing is that after you get done eating and the night comes over and you get on to Monday and you're thinking about, oh my God, I just ate way too much yesterday, I shouldn't have done that. First thing you do is don't overly restrict yourself by thinking that you have to not eat or that you're eating super small because the rationale is I ate so much the day before, I'm not going to eat a lot today. Don't do that. That's not worth it, right? We have to be realistic about our approach to all of this, right? And I always tell everyone that asks me about this, I say, one cheat meal, one burger and fries and soda is not gonna make you fat the same way eating a salad is not gonna make you skinny. It's all about consistency. If we're constantly eating bad, then of course we're gonna gain some weight because that's just not good for us. And if we're constantly eating good and putting food that's nutritious and good for our body, if we're putting that into our body and eating that consistently, then yes, we're going to lose some weight. But don't think that, just because you messed up on one day, it's all said and done. That's not how it works, right? So don't think that you have to be very restrictive about what you're eating the next day. The second thing is don't think, and this was kind of something that I did for a long time, don't think that you have to do more exercise than you normally do to burn off all the calories that you ate the day before. Don't do that. Just jump back into your normal routine. Go for a 3-mile run, work out for 45 minutes, work out for an hour. But don't think that, just because you work out for an hour a day, now you have to work out for 2 hours. Don't do that to yourself. The only thing that does with thinking that you have to work out more and that you have to restrict yourself with eating, that's just going to cause you to have a bad relationship with food. And that's something that I've had to kind of deal with for a really long time, going through college and everything, was I had that mentality. But don't think that you have to do that, right? All you have to do is get back on track. And we'll talk about that a little later on. But don't have a negative relationship with food by thinking that you have to overly restrict yourself with the food that you're eating the next day and that you have to work out even more than you did normally, right? And then the last thing that you should not do is just because you ate bad, don't say, screw it, I'm done, this is not going to work, and that's it. And then have a bad week of eating, have a bad month of eating, because, again, that's just not healthy for you. That's just going to put you back into another cycle of yo-yo dieting and get you back into a state mentally where you don't know how to eat properly and you don't know how to deal with the fact that you may be gaining weight or that you just had that one meal. So don't do that to yourselves. It's not good mentally and it's not good physically. But on the flip side of that, there are some things that you should be doing when you have a bad day of eating. One is you need to accept the fact that it is what it is, right? Enjoy it. It was a fun and enjoyable event. Take it for what it is. You had fun with your family, you ate some good food, you had some good lumpia, you had some good fried chicken. Enjoy it. Food should always be enjoyable. But we always have to think about portion size and this and that, but that comes later on, right? Take it for what it is. Take it as an enjoyable event. And the second thing is just get back on track. Whatever you were doing before, if you're looking at a 1,500 calorie diet, get back on track with that the next day. Don't have to go 1,200 or 1,000 calories. Just get back on track. Go back to what you're eating. Usually get back to eating your fruits and your vegetables. Get back to eating good carbohydrates, good sources of protein. Drink tons of water. And that's it. Just get back on track. You don't have to forego everything and say, I'm done, I quit. Because that's not what life is about. You have to keep continuing even though we get a little bump in the road, right? Get back on track with being consistent as well. This one little mishap, this one little bump in the road is not going to be how it's going to lay out the rest of your days. Take the weekend for what it is. Monday, Tuesday through Friday, get back on track with your diet, get back on track with your healthy eating habits, and exercise again. Once you start doing that, the weekend will get easier. And, Easter's over, so weekends are going to be a lot easier. We're not going to have parties and stuff like that for the next few weeks. But, if you do, don't worry about it, And the last thing is you always need to be realistic about your approach to how you're eating. Dieting is a short-term fix to a lifelong problem. We're always going to have to figure out what we're going to eat. We're always going to have parties on the weekend. We're always going to have a happy hour. We're always going to have drinks with our friends, and we're always going to have to eat with our families. So be realistic about that. Don't be overly concerned about, I can't eat this and I can't eat that because I'm on a diet. Be realistic about your approach. Look at the food that you're eating. Look at the portion sizes. Choose the healthier options. If there's salad, go eat the salad first. We had a Fanat Put the other night, and on the table there was salad, but it was towards the end of the table, like it usually is. And when I got to the salad, out of maybe 100-something people, I would say only 5 people touched it, right? There are healthier options everywhere we go. So take those healthier options. Eat the salad first, eat your vegetables first, put it on your plate so you're making sure that you're eating nutritious foods, and then go for the other stuff, right? We are always going to have to deal with this every single day. So don't think that just because you failed, it's over. Get back on track. I'm Jess from the Boka Box. I'll see you guys next week on the Hotspot with another health and nutrition tip. See you guys next week.
All right, congratulations to Logan and Tina once again. That's awesome news. All right.